You've probably heard of Amazon Prime's show Invincible. It's a superhero show that's very similar to Melissa McCarthy's latest Oscar-worthy masterpiece, Thunder Force.
Did I do that? Did I do that?
Except Melissa McCarthy isn't in this one. And this one's actually good. We got one season so far, and the show does a few things that set it apart from other superhero shows. For example, let's look at this TV trope. You've probably seen some version of this many times. A character in a show or movie turns on the TV. The news broadcast starts at the correct moment that's relevant to the story and at the correct volume.
What a coincidence.
This TV trope has a name. It's called coincidental broadcast. We've seen these a million times, but when a movie or show plays with these tropes, it stands out.
In fact, Michael, he's on the news. Right now. Terribio, Scaro.
Are bees better at sniffing out drugs than dogs?
I'm sure it's coming right up.
How many times have you turned on the TV and it was set to the correct channel and at the correct volume?
I reckon I've seen my fair share. Happens on rare occasion.
And imagine the impact if that had come on right when we turned on the TV.
These are little details that people pick up on, and it's this kind of attention to detail that's all over the show Invincible. So let's talk about what makes Invincible different and how messing with our expectations, how it uses its violence and its attention to detail allows it to break through the superhero cliches we're used to. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification icon for more content. So let's get started with what is Invincible. Invincible is an R-rated animated superhero TV series based on the Invincible comic series by Robert Kirkman. You've probably never heard of Robert Kirkman. He's the co-creator of a relatively small, kinda unknown franchise that has a TV show that lasted for like 11 seasons. It's called The Walking Dead. Have you heard of that one? Neither have I. Right now, the show is only available on the official Jeff Bezos streaming service, Amazon Prime. Invincible follows Mark Grayson, a completely normal and relatable 17-year-old that has two girls interested in having a relationship with him. This kid is 17 years old and he's already got two girls into him. When I was 17, the most action I got was from Miranda and Mass Effect.
Miranda, things are never going to be easy for us, but I'll always want you in my life.
Mark Grayson's father is Omni-Man, the most powerful superhero on Earth. And after Mark's 17th birthday, he gets his powers and gets into the world of superheroes. If you haven't finished the show, I'm gonna get into spoiler territory for the first season. I highly recommend the show, at least watch the first episode. If it's not your cup of tea, cup of coffee, or whatever cup you drink, then you don't need to watch the rest of it. So let's talk about how this show plays with our expectations. The show starts with a red wedding moment, which sets the stage for the entire season. It takes these very familiar characters that we've seen before. Red Rush is basically the Flash, War Woman is Wonder Woman, Darkwing is basically Batman, and they're called the Guardians of the Globe, which is basically the Justice League. And the show starts building a relationship between these characters and the audience. We see what each character does in their free time, how some of them have family or someone they're dating. Then shit hits the fan and they all get fucked in the first episode.
What the fuck? Holy shit.
It sets the tone for the rest of the show and tells us that things won't play out like we always expect them to. Which takes me to my next point, the show's violence.
Violence can be used for good.
Most superhero movies have PG-13 violence. Invincible has a lot of violence, and it really adds to the impact of every hit, every fight, and every death. That red wedding moment in the end of the first episode wouldn't be anywhere near as shocking if you took away all the blood, guts, and decapitation.
Joke's on you, I'm into that shit.
There's also a moment in episode 8 where Mark saves a pilot from falling, only to have his dad squash his face in front of his son. The violence just adds so much more impact and detail to the story and characters. Which brings me to my last point, the show's attention to detail.
In fact, the little details are by far the most important.
In episode 5, there's a scene where some bad guy's trying to beat up our hero while he's texting Amber. And while he's texting texting, there's all these typos and autocorrects. Making typos is more in line with how real-life texting is like. There's so many other details that aren't much when you look at them on their own, but when you put them all together, they add so much more detail and depth to the show and its characters. Look, I'm not saying the show is perfect or even close to it by any means. The storyline with Mark not being able to tell Amber his true identity was very generic. The animation is sometimes choppy, and our hero Mark Grayson gets his ass kicked way too many times. Look, I like the guy. I get that he's new to this whole superhero thing, but it's kinda hard to cheer for someone that's constantly losing. The show has its issues, but it's how it plays with our expectations, its use of violence, and its attention to detail. That's what makes it stand out as not just another superhero show. If you enjoyed this video, support the channel by hitting on the like button, and comment down below and tell me what your thoughts are on the first season. And subscribe and hit the bell notification icon for more content. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.